Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about morality and why we think we should be doing the right thing. What is morality? So growing up, I don't know about you, but I often hear my parents scold me and say, don't do this or don't do that because it's bad. And this is especially when I get into fights with my siblings or when I talk back to them. Or do you guys remember back in grade school, we always had a reading homework, and usually what is asked of us is, what is the moral of the story? What did we think of the word moral mean? Morality is defined as principles concerning the distinction between right and wrong or good and bad behavior. Our parents would teach us that what the moral of the story is what the good lesson we can learn from it is, or what the good action is. Teaching us is just part of raising us. But why? Why are we set up in the world to know what is good and do the right thing? Why should we be moral? Well, think of it this way. Why do we want to have high grades? Why do we want to help other people? Why do we think it's a good thing to be rewarded at something? Well, simply because it makes us happy. The desire to seek pleasure and avoid pain is our end and what we do everything else for. Utilitarianism states that we should look at morality based on results of an action, a consequence, meaning good actions equals good consequence or being moral. Actions should be measured in terms of happiness they produce, well, of course, in a greater number of people. So while keeping a secret of a friend is a good thing. For utilitarians, it is actually better to tell it to others if the content concerns giving pleasure by a form of happiness or safety to many or avoiding an even greater pain that it will cause. Another reason why we should be moral, because we already know what is right or wrong, or what is good or bad. Although we have different faiths and there are some who do not believe in a God, we are actually equipped by our Supreme Being with the knowledge and reason to actually know what to do, naturally. We are driven to achieve certain goals in life: self-preservation, reproduction of more life, education for those offsprings, knowing God, whether or not we are exposed to one, live in community with others, avoid offense, and shun ignorance. But if we look to religion for morality, most of us will not have the same answers. So again, without believing that God gave us tools to know what to do, then why should we do the right thing? Because morality is constant. Moral obligations are derived from pure reasons, and these commands we should follow. For instance, using the universalizability principle, we can determine whether a judgment that an act is right is correct, not whether it is correct from a particular point of view. Meaning, if it's right and correct for us, then it is right and correct for all situations. Constant. And lastly, while all these talk about rules we should follow, another reason why we should be moral is because it shows who you are. It is our character to be a good person. It is our function. And to be moral, we should adhere to those functions. So good if we fulfill that function naturally and rationally, and it's considered bad if we don't adhere to those functions. If we can focus on being good people, then right behavior and actions to where the right people will follow. And those were the list of the reasons why we should be moral. Thank you.